Hey, what's going on, guys? Adam coming back at you from Midwestern Outdoor Boys, and we're excited to tell you about our ice fishing trip and a cool story that came about that. I'm sure you see the Pike behind me. We've done an annual ice fishing trip. This is our third year up there. Our first year, we speared this one 2 years ago, and it's a 33.5-inch pike. And so, unfortunately, this one looks small compared to the one we're going to tell you about. I do have a special guest with me, Jana Rasmussen, which has gone up there with me for the last 3 years. Actually, this was her idea. She set this up years ago.
Yeah, you came with me.
That's true. I came with her.
I didn't come with you. This is my trip.
So this is a special guest, as this is also my fiance. So we'll be finishing that up in July, which will be fun. But we went up to Webster, South Dakota this year, which is a little bit further north. We've been going to Lake Preston, and so we thought, let's change it up. Let's go up a little further. And we go up there, and we're going to do some walleye and some perch fishing, which last couple of years has been mostly crappie and perch, but we wanted to add in some walleye to it this year up in Webster. So we got up there. It was early. We didn't get up there till late the night before, and it was early morning, 6:30 when we got up there. We got on the ice. We were running a little late because we didn't get there super early the night before. And gosh, this was really quick right away. We wanted to jump in and get on some walleye, which we saw. And so the guide had us get down, get ready, got our jigs on, and we're getting in. And why don't you take it from here? Tell us what happened. Gosh, it was the first 10 minutes of the fishing trip, probably, of having our lines in the water.
Yep, probably. So got down there, got in the water. Missed a bite right away. Second bite I got was a perch and brought it in. I'm like, all right, we're gonna catch some, some perch. So thinking we see some walleyes and perch down at the bottom. We're jigging for them. We're seeing them on the live scope. All of a sudden, I see this huge mark come across just right under the ice, and I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, what do you think that is? He's like, it's probably a pike. And I'm like, okay. Well, he didn't really say like, oh, reel up and go after it, but my competitive spirit got the best of me. So he got this one. He has the biggest fish of all of us until now. So I'm like, I was like, this walleye's not taking the bite, so I'm going to reel up and give my hand a try at this. So I get up there, and that pike, he hit my bait, and I tried to set the hook, and I missed. He spit it out right away, and I was like, oh, you're kidding me. So meanwhile, Adam takes my lead, and
I'm like, I'll get it. Let me get into this action here.
Yep. So he's reeling up. Pike sees his bait. He's creeping after it. Pike, they kind of stalk their bait a little bit. And I draw back down. I saw I still had bait on. I was like, "Oh no, I'm going after this again, and I'm gonna catch the attention." So
no, don't let me have a chance or anything.
Yep. So of course, Pike, he spins around, and you can see his body move on the camera. It was so cool to see. And he just attacked it. I set the hook.
That's so cool.
Like, oh yeah.
I can't
oh my
gosh.
Big
Pike.
I got him. And so I'm fighting him. He's fighting it, of course, as Northerns do, which makes it such a fun catch.
He's a really nice
He's diving back down into the water, 24 foot.
Ultimately, so we're doing this on a 4-pound test.
Yeah.
So she has to play this really well, otherwise he's easily going to break this line, spin, barrel roll, and cut it. So she's doing a great job as he dove 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep. So, I was pretty nervous. Like, don't let the line hit the side of the ice. Don't let it have that friction on it. Don't touch the line. I get him up underneath the hole, and I look at him, and I'm like, oh my gosh. His head, his body, he filled up every bit of that hole.
So we started to kind of figure out how big this pike was, because we really weren't sure up until this point. And once his head filled the hole, we were all kind of like, oh man, Yeah.
Yeah, at that point my hands started shaking. I just get this big grin and I'm thinking to myself, there is no way this 4-pound test line is gonna be able to bring, and it was itty bitty treble hook with some maggots on it, we're rather catching little fish. And my hands start shaking and the guy's like, hold still. He goes and he gets a gaff and
So after the pike had dove probably 3 times, I think he was starting to tire out.
oh yeah, he went down that line
so
with him.
we couldn't quite get the nose of the pike through, and she couldn't with the 4-pound test really just pull up because obviously she'd break the line. So we're trying to figure out how in the world, and we're fishing in 25 inches of ice. So this pike is down 2 to 2.5 feet from us. So our guide grabs this gaff that he has, and he's got 2 hooks on it, right? Or 1?
I think it just had 1.
Just had the 1 hook on it. And so he's like, okay, let me get down in there. And so he's going down in there. And I couldn't really see because I'm standing back trying to look, but what was he doing really?
Yeah, he had taken his sweatshirt off. He was down to his t-shirt, sleeves rolled up. He's reaching in there. He is clear up to his dang shoulder in this freezing cold water. He worked so hard for us to make sure we got that fish out. He reaches down there, he touches the fish with the gaff and zzz, right back down to the bottom. He's fighting it, made him mad. I'm like, okay, oh boy, all right, so play this right again, bring it up, and I'd start to bring him up and he'd get mad again, so I just let him reel it out. Brought him up again. That probably happened, 2 or 3 times?
Yep.
Well, finally, guy got a hold of him a little bit, and he did a head shake, and it bent the gaff. That hook was bent, so guy's like, that son of a gun. He bent it. So he comes up, he tries to bend it back straight, and that sucker breaks off, and I'm like, man, you get a fish that can bend a hook like that. I mean, it's not a little hook.
Yeah.
So
now we're like, now what do we do?
yeah, and so he's the owner of this guide service. He's got a few other guides out there on the ice with their clients, and he's calling. Nobody's got a gaff. Finally, 3rd guy calls. He's got one. He goes. He gets treble hook gaff.
And so word has gotten out now about this, right? And so this one guy's coming over with a gaff, but all of a sudden, 3 other guys come behind him because everybody's like, we want to see the fish. So everybody has stopped fishing at this point around us to come over and find out what in the world is going on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I keep jumping in here, but
No,
it was
you're
pretty
good.
awesome. So
Yeah. So get another kid in there. So he's like, all right, I got it hooked. Well, he hooked it a little too far back. He still couldn't get the nose through, and now we're like, well, now what?
yeah.
Because he's trying to maneuver it. Well, there's only so many inches in that hole that you can move it through. So another guy opens up the door and he's like, "What you got? What you got?" And he's looking, and so we figured out we had a fish ruler long enough. The fish ruler was not long enough to measure the fish itself, though. My bad. But it was long enough to reach down into the hole. So this kid, he takes the fish and he maneuvers it back, and they're wiggling around, and they finally pry the nose out, and they're inching it up, and they start hooting and hollering. They were so excited.
We got it!
And I'm like, you guys are all in my way! I want to see the dang fish. What'd I get? How big is this sucker really? And they played it out well. They brought him up, and it was slow motion for me. I was so pumped. My heart was pounding. I couldn't believe it was real. The fish is double the size of the hole coming out. So they bring it up. And I'm like, okay, let me touch it. I'm like, okay, well, it's slimy, so I probably need some gloves, and they've got sharp teeth. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. Everybody was cheering. So apparently that's the biggest fish that's come out of that lake that they know of in the last 5 years, which I think is pretty incredible. So.
Yeah. And the funny part was, our guy who'd been out there many times before, we thought it was interesting after the story. We're like, why did he tell us to go after the fish? And he was just kind of nonchalantly was like, it's just a northern up there or whatever. The funny part is, so for a week they've been watching this northern and had people out there trying to catch it, and this northern, no interest, no biting, nothing. And so I think our guide was like, he's not going to bite it. Don't waste your time, basically. And,
he's just out here terrorizing the perch and the
yeah,
walleye.
The walleye's all scurrying around, which is why they weren't biting any of our bait, because
Yeah.
he was swarming around up on the top.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and it's so much fun. It's amazing what happens when you just go out there and try. And congratulations on a 42.5-inch northern pike.
Thanks.
What was it,
21 pounds, 12 ounces.
21 pounds, 12 ounces. So that one will go to her office. So the funny part is with this story is she had one that she also speared. So we put the two together because we'd never speared fish before. Luckily, mine was 31.
No.
Hers was 31.5 inches. Mine was 33.25.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit bigger. The good news for me is she's going to bring the small one home. So I'll still have the biggest fish here. So that's a good thing. So, but at her office, if you ever get to see it, she'll have that and she'll be able to tell stories and stories and stories. So she's a heck of an ice fisher. And gosh, she caught a 15-inch jumbo perch as well here 3-4 years ago. So I don't know. We might have to find something else to go do. So
yeah, Super Bowl Sunday that year, I caught a 15-inch perch through the ice.
So,
first perch I ever caught.
Yep. So
And that's also hanging in my office, so you can come check it out there.
That's right. So, anyways, if you like this story, thank you for watching, and make sure you hit like, subscribe, and we're gonna have a bunch more stories. We're going back up to South Dakota here, probably for years to come.